Hypixel Duels has a pretty simple gameplay loop. You queue a duel, fight whoever you get matched up with, and battle it out. This is what the entire game mode is based upon. This leads to people wanting to get good stats, and showing their impressive win-loss ratios, kill counts, etc. Eventually, people started to wonder if there was a way to improve your stats outside of just using hacks. This would lead to the creation of an application that changed the Hypixel Duel scene so drastically that it got players banned, made people quit, completely changed the duel's meta, and caused Hypixel to take action and shut it all down. This is the story of the rise and fall of Lilith, the app that destroyed Hypixel Duels. In December of 2023, a Hypixel player and software engineer by the name of Nia started working on a mod similar to Seraph, but she wanted to make a better version of it. At first, she intended to keep it private, not releasing it to the general public. At some point though, she changed her mind, and in May 2022, it became the basics of what players now know as Lilith. At this time, the Hypixel Duels community was actually on a high. A few months ago, Duels had gotten an update, and with new titles to grind for as well as new Duels types, people were grinding Duels with numbers that hadn't been seen since the peak of the pandemic in 2020. So when Lilith came out, it was a big deal. Let me explain what made Lilith so valuable to many Duels players. This mod would have two main purposes. It would check player stats before the game started, and more importantly, could auto-dodge. How this would work is that before the game, when Lilith checked the opponent's stats, if any of the statistics were higher than a certain threshold that the Lilith user predetermined, it would run a command to automatically leave the game and re-queue. This effectively meant that anybody using Lilith wouldn't have to fight many good players, making it easier to get high win streaks and win-loss ratios. Lilith was an instant success, spreading like wildfire across the Hypixel Duels community, especially in modes like Sumo, which are filled with cheaters. You see, not everybody used Lilith to get win streaks or good stats. Some people simply used it to dodge cheaters. If you use settings that only dodge really low-level players with really high stats, you can effectively dodge nearly every cheater in queue. A question quickly arose though. Was this even allowed by Hypixel? Stats boosting isn't allowed, sure, but this almost certainly isn't what Hypixel really had in mind when they made the rule. After all, Lilith users aren't queuing people that will throw the game. They're just avoiding queuing people that would give them a loss. This was left in sort of a gray area for a long time, and it became a use at your own risk deal. Funny enough, Lilith actually got some people more into Hypixel Duels, like Shaden, a well-known Duels player on the leaderboard who's currently banned, who used Lilith to dodge a lot of players, even at mediocre skill levels, to get many high titles and ridiculous win-loss ratios and win streaks. With the only requirement to even use Lilith being an application where just saying I speak English will get you in, pretty much anyone could use it to get better stats. In April 2023, just over a year after it came out, the Lilith Discord server had over 6,000 members, compared to the Hypixel Duels Discord server, which only had 3,000. Very quickly, almost every Duels player was using Lilith, including myself, but only for a few weeks. Nia was in a great position at this point. You see, you could pay a subscription in order to get extra perks, appear with custom ranks to other Lilith users, etc. Along with the frequent updates to the app, like being able to see what kit your opponent is about to play before the game starts, this led to the community having a pretty positive feedback with the app as a whole and the staff team. While some people, including myself, were opposed to the idea of queue dodging, the majority of people found no problem with it and actually enjoyed it more than the regular queue. Nothing lasts forever though, and I'm sure you know where this is going. Over the course of a few months in 2024, Hypixel made some changes to the Duels queues, including how name obfuscation works, as well as API changes, which rendered Lilith essentially useless. Hypixel also added a new button to the reporting screen that made it clear that apps like Lilith were not allowed. All of this made some players so upset that they actually quit playing Duels entirely, not wanting to deal with cheaters and sweaty queues. Nia was frustrated because she lost a useful source of income and eventually sold Lilith to work on her actual job. And that's where we are today. Maybe a similar program will rise up in the future, but it's unlikely. A few players are rumored to have a method to queue dodge, but outside of that, it's pretty much dead. I want to thank Nia for giving me the time to interview her and give me useful info while I was doing research. And to make it clear, I do not endorse queue dodging, as it is against Hypixel's server rules. Thank you so much for watching, consider liking or maybe even subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.